officers is hereby added to the Fromberg Town Code. 2-1-21 Bonding of municipal officers. Each officer of the town is required to give bond, shall file a bond duly approved within 10 days after receiving notice of election or appointment, or if notice is not received, and on or before the date fixed for the assumption of duties of the office to which the officer is elected or appointed. This reflects the prior code that's being amended in MCA 7-4-4109, which is a requirement of state law for bonding of officers. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect 30 days from and after passage and approval on second reading.
Make a motion to accept ordinance 510.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve ordinance 510. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Ordinance number 511, an ordinance repealing Fromberg Code Section 2-1-23, purchase of bonds as a requirement is already covered by state statute. Being enacted by the Fromberg Town Council, Fromberg Code Section 2-1-23, purchase of bonds set forth below is hereby repealed. Purchase of bonds, the council shall purchase all surety bonds for the municipal officers and employees. Bond may cover an individual officer, employee, or a blanket bond may cover all officers and employees, or any group or combination of officers or employees. This is already verbatim in state statute, and that's why they're seeking to repeal. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect 30 days from and after passage and approval on second reading.
Make a motion to accept first reading of ordinance 511.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve ordinance 511. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
And finally, on first reading, ordinance number 512, an ordinance repealing from Fromberg Code Section 2-1-24, bond conditions, as this requirement is already covered in state law. Being enacted by the Fromberg Town Council, Fromberg Code Section 2-1-24, bond conditions set forth below is hereby repealed. This sets forth bond conditions that were previously in place, and because state law already requires it verbatim, this is why it's being sought to be repealed. The condition of every official bond must be that the principal shall well, truly, and faithfully perform all official duties then required of him by law, and also such additional duties as may be imposed on him by any law of the state or the municipality subsequently enacted, and that he will account for and pay over and deliver to the person or officer entitled to receive the same all monies or other property that may come into his hands as such officer. Principal and sureties upon any official bond are also in all cases liable for the neglect, default, or misconduct in any office of any deputy clerk or employee appointed or employed by such principal. All bonds must be signed and executed by the principal of two or more sureties, or by a principal and one or more surety companies organized as such under the laws of this state or licensed to do business herein. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect 30 days from and after passage and approval on second reading. I need to explain, this doesn't eliminate this requirement. It just relies on state law and can be enforced through state law.
Make a motion to approve first reading of ordinance 512.
Second.
We have a motion to approve ordinance 512 and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
You could start reading them.
Okay, next on the agenda is public comment. Those items not on the agenda. Yes.
I was wanting to comment on that situation down there with the railroad dumpster. It was loaded up with personal belongings from people in the town shortly after the town cleanup dumpsters were removed. And then they came in with a machine and rearranged it, kind of got it leveled. and the townspeople came in and put on some more. And I think that, that kind of behavior just is an embarrassment to the town. And I really think something ought to be done about that kind of stuff. I mean, it's just inexcusable.
I've never heard anything from the railroad.
From what I understand, there is no sign saying it is the railroads. A lot of people did mistake it thinking it was something, because we usually have our cleanup 3 days a week instead of just 2. So some people did think that. I also know that there is a resident that just tossed a small garbage bag in there, and he got ticketed because he had some personal information on there with his address and name, and he's fighting that ticket because they are not just ticketing him for that small bag, they're ticketing him for all the stuff that was in there. So, first of all, really it's railroad's property. Yes, it's a disgrace that people would use it, but it's not marked saying whose it is.
Yes,
It is now.
Property,
It
railroad
does say
property.
that.
Now it does,
Yeah.
but before that it doesn't. Yes.
Federal.
They still do. They
Should
do.
be a federal offense now.
They
So-
knew where they were at. They were looking around like crazy when they were doing it. Yeah, they
did
did.
a
So you
full-fledged
know
remodel.
who did that.
Well,
But the guy who
No,
the guy
I
that
didn't
got the
take any
ticket,
license plates and
the
I
guy who
wouldn't
ticketed,
identify them.
he came in and
What
he took.
Because of
really you shouldn't be commenting on an active.
an active case.
Okay.
But
Charge case.
okay, all I know is that
It's under investigation.
yes.
So that kind of goes hand in hand with, like, say, our burn pit down there. If, say he spots a guy that just tore his deck off with a chain, drug it down there and dropped it, we have proof the guy doesn't have a deck on his house, can we enforce anything on that?
Do you
Through the
have somebody that
sheriffs?
can identify that person who dumped illegally? Yes.
All I
we
have to
will.
do is call the sheriff's department and
Yep.
report me.
Because, yeah, we're gonna end up losing something that's actually nice to have. And
Yeah.
the people that take care of their yards use it, and then two people abusing it.
You have to be willing to come forward and send a complaint in order to be able to prosecute it.
Yes.
So just as long as it's clearly marked, like what can be put in there, and
Probably just gotta get people.
Yes, go ahead.
I think it'd be a really good idea to get a sign that's at least 2 foot by 3 feet, both sides, because it is hard to read that sign, and it's.
Which
it
sign
could
are
be
you
done
talking
like
about?
The one down at the pit.
Oh,
Down at
okay.
the burn pit.
Yeah, the railroad could do better too,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's there. But I think that it's clearly marked. I mean, it might be nice to have some video cameras on there too, because,
Video
going at night
camera,
would be a lot
maybe,
harder to identify somebody.
A game camera.
The game camera.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
But it's happened.
it seems to
probably
me Republic
twice.
Services offers this twice a year, free of charge. If you want to come dump your stuff, you know it's coming. And Bridger has the same thing, and they're not prohibiting people from using theirs for dump.
Well, they allow us to go to Bridger as well.
Yeah.
Yes, you have.
No, you said it. You go
I think
over
it's
it.
just people that don't like Romberg. They're mad at the town, so they do that shit.
Well, that's the same thing that happened when Republic left. People come when it's done. to
Just
use
dump it
the
beside it.
dumpster. It's full, so they just throw it off inside.
In the street.
And that's the reason they won't leave them anymore, is because they have to come down and pick it up. They have to have those things level.
To drive down the road.
Yes. Go ahead. You're up first. Go ahead.
Okay, is this where I can bring up that we'd like to put up a privacy fence on our property?
Yes.
Okay, we would like to put a privacy fence, and I did print off what we propose to do.
Okay.
There's 6-foot cedar privacy fence just on a portion of our property.
Okay, and why don't you introduce yourself and
Okay, I'm Kara Springer, we live down at 418 East River Street. And we have permission from the people, verbal permission from the people who live next to us to put it in. But I wasn't sure if we needed any sort of building permit or approval of town council before we put up any sort of permanent fence.
Are you going on your property line?
Yes, we are going along the property
And
line.
you know where your property line is, if they know where it is. and
Yes.
You don't have any disagreement with your neighbor?
No, it's going along an existing wire fence that we will be replacing with a cedar solid fence.
okay, now it'll be about 6 feet high,
6 feet high will be the,
and it'll be made out of what type of wood?
it'll be made out of cedar with treated, cemented in posts.
It'll be a nice looking fence.
Yes, yes.
Right now, there's no requirements in the zoning ordinances to
Okay.
address fences. But it's nice that she came
Yeah.
in and asked.
Well, she called today and asked me, and I wasn't sure exactly, so I figured, well, better, tonight's a good night to come in and,
And as long as it's not on the outside that might block like view from alley or easement, that's another.
No, no, there's no alley on it. It's completely between two properties.
good. I just wanted everybody here to be aware of how it's going on. Good. I don't have a problem with it.
You have our blessing.
Yeah, good, thank you.
We don't have to approve it because there is no ordinance.
There's no ordinance on it. I just kind of wanted to make sure that everybody was aware and it was gonna be a nice looking fence. It'll add to the community. Thank you.
So you gotta listen to some lovely reading for the evening.
Very important.
I have a question. Do we have a Montana Municipal Annotated Code book in the office?
We have them here we have them here in storage, yeah, the new ones, but yes.
The new ones? Okay. Well, just one of the things that I'm listening to tonight, and I'm kind of floored, is everybody comes up with, do we have money in the budget? Do we have money in the budget? And I've been doing some research lately, and your mayor is to give you a report every 4 months on your finances and exactly where you're standing.
That definitely would be nice, because Jeremy asked me, and he was like, you know, I got the
And
budget.
you
I said,
guys
"I
need to be better, you guys deserve to know where you stand at.
And the
And-
reports in here, and they are
But
not
the,
being able to balance them, that is why we can't really,
but the public's supposed to know as well. The public's supposed to get that report.
and we know, and you'll know.
It's coming right around the bend, right?
It's coming, it's gonna take a little time, but it's coming. Like I said, Kirsty's working on the balancing. Whitley will be involved, and as soon as that gets done, and our next budget gets prepared and everything should be pretty much on the mark where everything's supposed to be, and with all
Then we'll
the,
be getting a report every 4 months.
you'll be getting a report every 4 months, and you'll be getting.
It'll be nice. It will be.
And you'll be getting the cash reports that will be, reflect exactly what we have and things like
Yeah.
that.
Also, as far as that goes, I would like to see the maintenance have a budget that he can work off of.
He does.
Mhm.
He does, doesn't
He,
No.
he,
Yes, he does.
Well, but he doesn't know what it,
He
whatever
doesn't-
much he
he
has or
doesn't
how much he
know.
can
He
spend.
doesn't know, but
And he should know too.
he should
You
know
know, but
exactly
it-
what,
if-
yeah.
If he's only got $1,000, and he wants $1,200,
And
Cause
I've
I-
also told him, I says, make a wish list
Yeah.
for your next budget, because we're gonna be having
Right.
workshops and things like that. So
Because
you
he
can
needs to work off. of
write
a
down
budget,
what you
and he
need.
Yes.
needs to know what he's got.
Right.
Write down what you need, what you think you're going to need, and figure out estimates on your road material, equipment, new things for equipment, what you're gonna do for maintenance. He needs to have all that done.
some of those things he'll get, but he might not get them this year,
No.
might be next year.
But at least if there's a list that we can go by,
Yeah.
so we know, because we can't read his mind what he needs.
Right.
So,
Any other questions? Anything else? Not on the agenda.
July the 1st.
Pardon?
July 1st.
July
You wanna do
1st,
July 1st, you wanna do it after?
after the 4th?
That's up
After
to you guys.
It'll either be the first or the eighth.
The 8th. It makes it easier for me to do it the following week, because I don't get all the bills in, and being holiday and everything, prior to our holidays, because of the 4th.
Do we need to change this thing to the second
Um,
Monday?
be nice as far as certain times. Like this month was really short because I was gone for a week, holidays, things were hectic trying to get everything done, all the graduations and stuff.
Do you think we would have a better look at our present situation if we did it on the second versus the first?
Yeah, do that by ordinance.
Okay.
I would say that not necessarily,
Okay.
it's just when it falls so close to like the first right there and so I know that her Bridgers, Christian will ask now and again to change just to that extra week when it's so short and you don't get like, this time I had to do a couple of bills that didn't get an invoice because if I waited, it'd have been 2 months behind.
So do we want to do it on the 1st or the 8th, guys?
I'll say the 8th.
8th?
First is leading up to that holiday on Thursday, it's gonna be a busy time for everybody.
That make a motion.
Yes.
I make a motion to have the next meeting July 8th.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to move the next meeting to July 8th. All in favor?
Aye.
I make a motion to adjourn.
And a
I'll
motion
second that.
and a second
Can
to.
I just say before we adjourn?
Okay.
We were, Shirley said something about a special meeting on this 12th of
For what?
this month.
It was,
But
water.
water,
Guy was coming in about
But,
4 grants.
grants,
Oh.
for grants.
That's on the
Yeah.
12th of
That's
this
on
month?
Yeah,
the
yeah,
12th this
copy
month,
of all
it's
these
it's
things down.
like a workshop, not really a meeting, but a workshop on
Wednesday.
I can always print it off
on grants.
What day is that?
if it's on the
It's
website.
a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday,
Okay.
and then.
That's fine with me, you'll have to send me a reminder.
All right, will do.
Yeah,
Make
it's
it
the whole meeting.
7:30 or-
Yeah, that's the only time I can make it.
If
Okay.
you guys need a workshop and that guy comes earlier, that's fine too.
Okay, all right, I don't know, and then on the 19th, supposedly a ribbon cutting for the new,
What time is
wastewater
that
pumps.
set for? Any idea yet?
I think it's gonna be in the afternoon around 2.
And that's the 19th.
Is everybody gonna get a ride in the boat?
If they want one, I guess.
What is the 19th?
It is, a Wednesday, I think.
Did you have a comment?
June 19th is on.
Did we vote on a jersey?
Yes.
Yep, all in favor of
Aye.
Who motioned it?
Okay.
And I second it.
I eyed it.
All right, thanks, you guys.
Keep forgetting my camera's right there. My face is right there. Turn it off before it gets there. Here are those 2 state statutes.
Okay, when you
They're
change,
natural up there, Tim.
but when we change the payment things, is that just?
No,
How many people is that?
we did
Because when
not
you said-
cover the, when are they gonna do this for the
Not
park?
monthly, I mean, like these get paid
asphalt.
quarterly.
They're
You
getting
guys
bids.
get paid
I
monthly.
Who's getting
gotta
paid
get
for it?
that bid from hard drive, I know.
Council member.
As soon as I get information, I'll pass on to you guys.
This
We'll
is
see
state's
what's up.
requirement.
The school just said they have
Okay,
one.
no,
I-
quarterly.
Well, do they have enough money to do the whole thing?
That's what I told Julie, I said, well, if you do it, we'll pay you back.
I'd
I'd rather owe you than beat you out of it.
But if we're right at a 54 to
It's me every month.
54%, we're still in touch.
Just like,
We're-
Perfect.
It's
Yes,
almost
okay.
half.
that's why I just wanted to
See,
see.
previously, it
But
was quarterly.
hard drive
Okay,
does their
we
work.
pay the requirement is.
It's gotta decide whether they want them to
That's
do
why
it
This is
all,
to make it consistent.
which
So
all the
you've
prep
been
work,
doing it wrong.
or they call in a separate contractor to prep us when they come in and
That's why
check
they
it.
routinely work.
Well,
So
back,
now you can do it
hard
right
drive,
without
Dave
violating the
did,
ordinance.
Stein,
So we can just do it
Did all the
whenever,
prep work.
like we have normally done it, so you get paid and then.
that whole
they get
thing
paid
has to
every
be
quarter. Yeah.
dug out, and that whole
Gotta be
Just
tore
don't
up.
change it on me, I'm just learning how to do this the right way,
Down
or go the wrong way, but the right way.
really ugly, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's about 60 years of compiling and compiling and compiling.
Parts of it, 2 feet.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jim.
This up.
Yep, thank you. See you later.
See ya.
Thank you.